Hi, Etsy. I'm Michelle O'Halloran, owner and designer of Sophisticated Pup fine pet products. I'm here in my studio in the Bucktown neighborhood of Chicago to show you a little bit more about my products and how they're made. Let's get started. Entering the studio space, you'll see my cutting table in the center of the room. You'll see my desk to the right. You'll see my two industrial sewing machines back here. You'll see my silk screening station here. You'll see a lot of storage. You'll see 3 other sewing machines and a serger machine. You'll see boxes and boxes of bins that all contain Sophisticated Pup products. Here is a small photography setup, and underneath are mounds and mounds of dog mannequins. This here is my shipping area. You see I have bubble mailers right there. I've got cardboard boxes back here. Here is paper cutter, and then here's a pile of products that is just about to get shipped out to a boutique. Let's take a look at some of my products. So here on my cutting table, you'll see some mannequins with a handful of my products on them. What we have going from the left to the right, this is the Isabella box pleat dress. It's a cotton dress. It has a Velcro closure and crystal buttons. We have our Eurolux quilted vest here. It's fully lined. It has the harness hole, and it has a Velcro closure in the front as well. We have one of our ruffle coats, which has been one of our all-time best-selling pieces. It's fully lined in pink satin. It's got a Velcro closure and the crystal buttons. I have the waterproof action vest. This one is in the black scroll pattern. It's made of a fabric that's called Dintex. It's lightweight, it's waterproof, it's machine washable, and it has a Velcro closure as well. These are some more of our Eurolux coats, our box pleat dress, and then we have one of our all-time favorites, our Chicago style dog t-shirts. Then one of our newest pieces is our harness collection. They have a mesh lining in them. They have the webbing that's adjustable, and we have matching bow ties and collars for all those pieces. Down below my cutting table, you see endless supplies. Lots and lots of materials, tools. Here we have a lot of the webbing. It's the same webbing that's used in the harness I just showed you. Here's a lot of the hardware that we use for the dog collars and leashes. We've got D-rings. We've got plastic buckles here. We do use some metal buckles that we have our logo on. On the table here, I've got some original patterns. So these are various paper patterns that I've created over the years for my different products. Here is extra fabric from several of the pieces. And then here we have a lot of different fabric swatches that I use to source when I'm working on a new collection. So lots and lots of fabric swatches. These are the fabrics that I used on the inside of the new harnesses. Here is a half sewn Eurolux vest. You can see how there were adjustments made to it, and it's a half done piece. Let's see, over here I have my silk screening station where this is where I do silk screening. I have a lot of original images on screens down below here. Lots of screens. I'm about to make a Lucky Dog t-shirt. I have a lot of different silk screening inks. I think you also inquired about my second side business. So I also do some silk screen baby onesies. Here's one that I had done. So it's done the same process. I use my original designs, I use my inks, and it's as simple as that. Here are my two industrial sewing machines that I use. Today I've been working on a lot of these glitter dog collars. So these are some half-done glitter collars. I've been working on some Chicago flag dog collars. Those ones are half-done also. I've got lots of threads. This is where I keep a lot more of my hardware, so I have it close by when I'm sewing. Here's my other industrial sewing machine. Got rolls and rolls of fabrics. Back over here I have an embroidery machine. This is embroidery. I have a serger. I've got two more sewing machines. Lots of ribbons. Over here at my desk I have the two computers that I use. I have a postal scale. So these are my line arts that I made of my little dog Penny. So actually Penny is right here. She's always here with me at my studio. Where is she? Penny, where are you? Oh, she's hiding over here by the refrigerator. So here's my little pug Penny. Penny, say hi. Say hi, Etsy. So that's Penny. So these are line arts that I made of Penny a while back, several years ago, that when I start a new apparel collection, I use these to sketch out my designs. So I print these on paper. These are just photographs that I took of Penny, and then I darken the outline and scan them in, and I have them as a digital file, so I can always just print them up when I'm ready to start designing a new apparel collection. So here are some finished sketches that was from the last collection of apparel that I did. So this is that ruffle coat. You can see it's Penny, it's both sides, the front and the back, and then I had sourced fabrics and I had swatches of the fabrics down below. Let's see if I can get... Here's the green one. I had initially thought I would use a faux fur on the collar, but I ended up not using the fur. We just ended up doing the solid green fabric. This was the initial sketch for the waterproof action vests. You can see it ended up swaying quite a bit from that. I did end up using, I did do one colorway in a plaid, but not a purple plaid. And I ended up using Velcro and not the buttons. This was just a second colorway I was considering. Third one, fourth one. And then these are the original designs from the Isabel box pleat dress, which I have in the black and the pink pattern. My original thoughts were to go with some sort of crystal button, which I stayed with, but I was originally thinking solid colored fabrics, and we got away from that. Well, and a pattern too, but I ended up going with two patterns that were the same, just in two different colorways. So you can see that. So this is where I do a lot of my design work. I do a lot. I have my graphics tablet here underneath my papers. So I do a lot of design work. I use Photoshop. I do my photography here. I do all of that. So everything starts here with me. I do a lot of the production. I have an assistant that works here with me at the studio. I do a lot of sewing right here, and my assistant helps me. And then I do wholesale to quite a bit of stores. So in order to be able to produce in large scale, I end up taking my patterns and my designs to local sewing houses to help me complete the production. I wouldn't be able to do all these pieces on my own without the help of outside sewers. So as you can see, these are some of my original patterns. I do have over here, those are hand-drawn patterns, and then I have over here what is called a marker. So I'll roll this out. So after I hand draw my patterns, I have them digitized. So when you digitize a pattern, you take it from being a hand-drawn pattern to being digitally done. It's put into a pattern making program. I don't know if you can see that or not, but when I then go to my sewers. They take my marker, which is this, which is all of the different sizes that the coat comes in, all kind of interwoven into each other, so it utilizes the most amount of fabric. You can see, it's so hard to see. You can see that all the pattern pieces are on there. So this was my original pattern, and then I had it digitized, and now this will go to my sewers, and they will make more of them for me. So this is just kind of the next step in pattern making. So when you are making a lot of pieces and you're wholesaling, it makes sense to have your patterns digitized, because then that pattern is now saved as a computer file, and should I want to come back to this pattern in a few years, it's saved as a file and I don't have to redraw the pattern. So that turns out very useful and very handy. So anyways, I hope that seeing how I work and where I work helps you to realize my process and everything I do here. And if you have any more questions regarding how my products are made, I'd be happy to answer any other questions. In the meantime, I hope that you will accept my application as a designer that also works with a manufacturer. And I guess that's all. Say bye-bye, Penny.